If you have no spell or traps in your graveyard, draw 2. Also, for the rest of this duel after this resolves, you can activate spell or trap cards or effects.
Except light a Sekka.
What would I rather do? Banish the top 10 to activate Pot of Desires?
Just for it to get Ash Blossom?
What's that?
Or play Light of Sekka? Both basically force you to build your deck around playing them. Desires doesn't prevent you from activating spell traps or effects, but you get to keep your cards with Light of Sekka.
It's debatable!
It's not really that debatable. You could banish this card from your graveyard, reveal one monster in your hand, shuffle into the deck, then draw 1 card. So they gave this a graveyard effect that you can use now.
Not tomorrow, not after breakfast. Now!
It banishes itself so you can activate another Light of Sekka when you draw it, because you can't activate Light of Sekka if you don't control any spell or traps in your graveyard.
Makes sense.
Magic Planner, Pendulum Halt, Cards for Black Feathers, Core Compression, Sacred Sword of 7 Stars, Red Dragon Vase.
Another card I didn't feel like mentioning.
All draw 2 cards with restrictions attached, but none of them compare to Light of Sekka.
Because the fact still remains.
You basically have to play Light of Sekka as your only spell.
Kind of what this individual did with Mermails in the OCG.
But with Mermails though is different because you're already playing like a high percentage of monsters, and you can use Light of Sekka's graveyard effect to put your one of Genix controller back in the deck to make your Genix Undying live if you happen to draw it.
Synergy.
Super Heavy Samurai require you to have no spell and traps in the graveyard, which basically means you don't play any spell and traps.
At least ones that can't banish themselves from the graveyard.
Light of Sekka lets you draw 2, and it banishes itself from the graveyard, so it would seem in Super Heavy Samurai.
It's just perfect.
One minor thing though.
You won't be able to use the spell and trap Susanoo takes from your opponent's graveyard,
If you activate light a Sekka first.
which is a possible variable. But I guess drawing the cards is better, and at least Transporter won't be your main means of draw in Super Heavy Samurai. Special summoning monsters to your opponent's side that aren't kaijus.
Now that's really funny.
Even then, it doesn't make Super Heavy Samurais better. It just gives Light of Sekka a home. You basically have to play a deck with it as your only spell, or you flip it off a Diamond Dude.
One more thing.
Konami should really make full arts for Yugi.
Cause this art right here
Should cover the entire card. If you want to make your otherwise core sets worth buying besides obviously importing chase cards that most people are going to want, you should just give us full arts. All you're really doing is expanding the artwork to cover the entire card. And while you're at it, make them textless. If a person doesn't know what the card does,
So?
that is not your problem. They can look it up. And even then, with the text on the card, people still don't know what cards do. Just imagine this as a full art secret rare.
That's perfection.
That being said, thanks for watching. I ask if it as shows up to click what or watch what. If you would like to
Help me. Help me.
without spending your own money, my Patreon's in the description if you are feeling
Just a little bit.
generous.
Thank you for your patronage.
Gratitizzle. Discord server link description.
I appreciate you.